Japan, strangely familiar, but also very different. Shizuoka Province, home of Mount Fuji, is hosting WorldSkills 2007. 800 of the world's most skilled under 23-year-olds congregate to compete for gold medals.
The gold medal's the goal, and if I don't get it, then I'm not going to be very happy.
The competitions that I've done so far, I've won every one of them, so I suppose I don't actually know what losing's like.
To walk away with nothing, I'd be devastated.
To make the UK team for WorldSkills, you have to be pretty special. The selection process takes more than a year. The competitors had to succeed in regional and national events before winning at the UK Skills Selection event held last spring.
It's been extremely difficult, this one. Congratulations to Chris.
It was harrowing for those who didn't get through.
Graham, we would like to take you to Japan. You're it, OK?
You will be going to Japan.
For the winners, it's the start of 9 months intensive training ahead of Japan to acquire the skills to compete at international level.
Absolutely amazing, yeah. Can't believe I got through.
Auto body repair competitor Simon Noble knows the standard he has to reach. The UK won gold in his event 2 years ago.
When I'm cutting the panel off, I need to be careful that when I cut through the outer skin, which I'm replacing, that I don't touch any of the internal strengtheners or anything. Any little marks that I put on the internal panels can lose me marks. My training now is just getting everything perfect, really, just fine-tuning.
And are you now WorldSkills standard?
Basically, I've just nicked the inner panel with the air saw ever so slightly there and there, so that would probably lose me marks.
Excellence in the workplace is the key to excellence in competition. This hair salon in Ross-on-Wye is where the UK's hairdressing competitor has been trained. Competitors need to raise their game significantly higher than being just the best in the country, and Donna Leach's employer has played a big role in her preparation.
This test is one of the WorldSkills tests, and it's the progressive, men's progressive, and it's aimed at using all the skills that she would use in the salon, but in a more extreme way. So we don't really expect clients to wear their hair like this. But it's a good way of putting together all of the skills that she would use in a more visual way, really. I mean, that could come up more, actually, couldn't it? So I think when you do it...
Yeah, I was thinking about bringing that more over to this way. All the hair, they have to be in their place, really. You can't have hairs crossing over here and there. That can lose you marks.
And is it almost down to individual hairs?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, like that one there, I just pulled off. You could see that. It looks nasty.
The Edward Barnsley Workshop in Hampshire designs and manufactures bespoke furniture. Its founder was a member of the arts and crafts movement, and Gary Tuddenham, the UK's competitor in cabinet making, trained here.
Being in this environment's everything, because everything we do, it has to be perfect. If it's not perfect, you do it again. It doesn't matter how long it takes, it's got to be right. And then you've got to do everything right, but quicker and quicker and quicker. So yeah, to be able to do that now here, hopefully that sets me in good stead to go out there.
I think there are a lot of similarities between the work we do here and the actual WorldSkills competition. They're making a piece of furniture they haven't seen before that doesn't exist. It'll be a brand new design. They have to rise to the challenge of doing it. They've got to plan the job efficiently and effectively and use their time properly. So in terms of a fit to the pursuit of excellence, I think it's quite a good example of that.
Gary's father was a bench joiner, and Gary shares his dad's high standards.
Nothing's ever good enough. Very critical. Whatever I do, it can always be better. Dad's always been at us because he taught me when I was younger, just do it again, and do it again with more finesse this time. That was the one thing that he tried to drum into us all the time, was the finesse.
The day before the flight to Japan, and the team gets together at a posh London hotel. Tonight there's a glitzy send-off event. The team managers are Bruce Robinson and Steph Tibbott.
I want you to enjoy this evening, but at the same time I don't want you to get carried away with it all, okay? We've got, you know, people from PR companies, camera crew around, there's guys going to take pictures for Snickers. You're not all suddenly going to become film stars. Let's be realistic about this. We're here to do a job, and that job is for you to go to Japan and do your very, very best. To come back surprised at how well you did. Okay? And that's what you need to focus on. This time tomorrow, we'll be in the air on the way to Japan.
Hey, baby, your irresistible.
Suited and booted, the team look pretty special.
You're so powerful,
It's good getting the tiger.
At the send-off at the L'Oreal Institute, the first of many photo calls, and some inspiration from Fame Academy's David Grant.
You're ready. Always remember that. Over the next week, remember, I'm ready. I'm ready, that's why I'm here. Give them a round of applause, because tonight's their night, and haven't they earned it? You know, the most important thing is young people finding something that they can do, that they can be excellent at, because being excellent at one thing, whatever it is, makes you better at everything.
Specially struck silver medallions were handed out by Skills Minister David Lammy. An early start and another press call.
Look at this way!
I just want to get there and get my competition area set up how I like it.
Been preparing for months, so we just want to get there and get on with it. So.
Yeah.
Very nice.
What is this? Rain!
After a 12-hour flight, a 3-hour coach journey.
Settle down and, you know, get my head down for a few hours. Just quite tired. Did 5 movies in a row. I'm sure when we get further out of sort of Tokyo centre, it's probably going to be very different.
It's not really how I expected it. I thought it would be more built up than this.
Just like at the Olympics, there's a competitor's village in the shadow of Mount Fuji. It's usually a holiday camp. UK Skills Jenny Shackleton and Charles Turner are there to welcome the team. 49 countries and 40 different skills are represented at World Skills.
My name is Jan and this is Sean.
And my name is Sean and this is Jan.
The Dutch were exuberant. It's a chance for the UK team to eye up the competition before going to find their 4-berth pixie huts.
Strange. Very strange.
See, I was supposed to have a bath in this, look.
My sink's bigger than that home. Of course it is, isn't it?
Next door, Donna Leach is having a bad hair day.
Can you do a thing with it?
Can I do a thing with it? No, not really, because I don't know if my straighteners are going to work. What's that little thing down there? You have like a heated toilet seat in that. Oh, that's pretty good. It doesn't look good yet, so.
I'd noticed that too.
And the Dutch are still singing.
It gets a bit exciting, so you think one of them's got to be competing against us, and there's got to be a winner and a loser out of all the countries. So just hope they're the losers and we're the winners. So.
There's already been a bit of banter as well, and you probably hear in the background the Dutch are always quite vocal, quite loud, and we don't need to be like that really. I mean, they might have a fancy uniform, but we'll do the business at the end of the day.
The competition site near Numazu city covers more than 20 acres. Hundreds of volunteers were recruited to help out. The team arrived to see where they'll be for the next 4 days of competition and to prepare their workstations. On the preparation day, the site is in a security lockdown. Only competitors and team managers are allowed access to the stands.
Media is not allowed into the competition halls because of the fact that, you know, there could be perceived unfair advantage if footage reached out to an actual competitor. It's to make sure that every competitor goes into the competition on equal footing and with a fair and transparent process. Yep.
Plans are supplied ahead of the competition, but at the last minute they're changed by 30% to give a bigger challenge. Each country's skills expert then argues for the changes to the project that they would want to see.
We now have examined them, looked at them, and we have then carried out a vote. And lucky for Gary, the test project that we've elected democratically is going to suit him. It's one that's going to demand a much higher skill level and more of his skill level. Also, in the marking scheme, I've been able to influence one or two little areas in the marking scheme which will be to his favour.
I would say I've argued and won 90% of my battles and influenced it in my competitor Chris's best interest.
This morning I arrived, you have to take out your tools and set up your tools and equipment and get to know the paints, and everything's ready, everything's went in my favour kind of thing.
I'm having to use the Japanese supplied welders, which obviously they're quite different to the ones that we use every day in the UK. But because I spent about 4 hours playing around with the Japanese machine, I finally got it to produce a nice weld, so I'll be fine in the competition. It was just a bit of unnecessary stress I could have done without.
As the prep day draws to a close, George the stonemason is set a woodworker's challenge.
By the way.
All right.
Yeah, flip it over.
I thought you're supposed to be good at this, being a cabinet maker.
Togged up again, and it's another photo call. But it's for the mums and dads back home this time. Today it's the grand opening ceremony. Another stuffy coach journey. Restaurant service competitor Julie Doig uses her time wisely. It's a parade of national pride.
Every year the competition's getting bigger and bigger.
I feel fantastic. Ah, it's good.
It's exciting.
Proud, very proud.
I feel very proud and very hot.
Crown Prince Naruhito arrives, and they're off.
And now, the competitors representing the countries and regions participating in this skills competition. The United Kingdom.
Rather understated, as you'd expect of the British.
Japan.
It was an exhilarating but long, tiring afternoon for all the competitors. Tomorrow, the competition will begin. Dawn on day one, and Mount Fuji is cloaked with grey clouds. The waiting's over.
Remember what you are here to get for you. That selfish thing that nobody else can give you. Only you can get that. I don't know what I've been told! I don't know what I've been
Now at last they can get cracking and do what they've been trained for. It's World Skills.
I'm doing this every day, so in order to do it, I'm just focusing.
In the automotive trades hall, Dan Glover starts diagnostic testing. Car repairer Simon Noble sets up his jig. But spray painter John Lloyd looks like he's lost something. Welder Stuart Greer has a close shave with his selection of manual metal arc welding rods.
Went to the oven and to get the rods, and I picked up the wrong ones. The rod that I picked up had more flux on it, and at the back of the weld, instead of it being normal flux, it was all silicon-like, black, and it just don't give as good as weld as what I'm used to.
This one is LB52U. You take it from the top with one, right?
Thank God I actually checked on my scrap first, but I thankfully realised and corrected it, and then it went all right from there.
John Lloyd can't seem to open his drawer.
The toolbox accidentally locked itself and the key was in the top drawer as well. Spray painters only need spray guns. We don't really need big boxes full of metal, to be honest.
Luckily, there wasn't anything too vital inside.
First day nerves, really, isn't it?
The food trades always draw the crowds. Confectionery chef Will Torrent is busy tempering chocolate. This involves manipulation of heated chocolate on a cool marble slab.
Chocolate. When you get tempered chocolate, yeah, you actually get a really nice sheen on it, and you get a really nice snap. And when you look inside it as well, it's all one piece, and that also gives the nice sheen to the chocolate as well, which looks nice on the dessert or afternoon tea pastry, which I've used it for.
Precision is everything in restaurant service, and Julie Doig will be marked down if a wine glass is out of place or if cruets are too far apart.
When you're all dressed up, you feel the part and you just play the part really well. You become someone else.
Blind tasting liqueurs must be a nice skill to develop. Refrigeration competitors have to build a fridge, but Matt Lander is looking concerned. He's trying to commission the system, but his vacuum pump doesn't seem to be lowering the pressure inside his pipework.
Fulfill the leak.
Might have a leak?
Yes, yes. No problem?
No.
He tried to say that I'd got a leak in my system, but hadn't.
Everyone wants to blame the equipment supplied, every time.
Going up.
Whatever's supplied by the host country is always the first thing to get blamed. These are two-stage vacuum pumps. They should handle this size pipework, no problem. They had a day of testing their equipment before they started. So each competitor should have tested the equipment first.
The only thing I think it was be if I got some water in while I were brazing. I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
Britain's 22 competitors are all up and running as the first day of competition is underway. We're competing in 21 different skills, from the hand skills of bricklaying, joinery and cabinet making, the technology-based events like CNC milling, graphic design and mechanical engineering CAD, to floristry, hairdressing and beauty therapy. But there's a lot more. Mobile robotics is one of the wackier events where international teams have to program a robot to knock a puck around with extreme accuracy. Caring tests competitors' bedside manner with the disabled.
You have to make sure that the wheelchair brace is on.
And electrical installations is a fiendishly difficult wiring challenge.
This is not Carrie's normal trade. He's a domestic electrician by trade, so he's had to learn a lot for this competition. We spotted him 4 years ago and saw talent, so we've been nurturing him.
In the landscape gardening competition, the stone that the Japanese organisers have supplied is giving problems to the British team.
The stone really hard, it kept on blunting his chisel, so we kept having to get some more.
It was like cast iron. Cutting it was just a nightmare. All the stone we've been using is really hard compared to what we've been training with, but we're getting used to it now. But we've got one flag left, and neither of us really want to cut it, because it's like the last sort of thing, and if that goes wrong, we'll have to make up with small bits and it won't look as good.
While our boys struggle, some of the girls seem to be making light of it, especially the Japanese competitor. It's late afternoon and the hairdressers are finishing their projects. This morning they made up and dyed wefts, hairpieces sewn at one end by hand. These are now commonly used in commercial salons. Donna Leach is finishing off a sophisticated long-haired evening style, where she'll win marks for technical ability and for her artistic flair. It's turned pretty chilly, so they're having to use the hairdryers to keep the competitors warm. Some of her teammates have come over to cheer her on.
4 minutes.
Her training manager is also the chief judge for the competition.
This is a really tough time because she's only got like about 4 minutes to go. She's been working solidly now since 8:30 this morning. It's freezing cold and she's just done brilliantly.
1 minute. 1 minute.
I think she did a really, really good job. She's missed one part out, but she was tight for time, so it's better to have missed it out and get the finish perfect as opposed to put it in and then rush the last couple of minutes, really. But she's done really well.
4, 3, 2, 1, stop.
Good, I think.
You're absolutely knackered.
Yeah, except like sewing hair pieces, because we had a new weft. We've been practicing with the one weft, but we've got given another one. It's so difficult to use. But yes, all good at the moment.
Over in the woodworking hall, the cabinet makers are finishing for the day. The joiners finished half an hour ago.
I haven't done a lot of dovetails before, and those were quite big, chunky dovetails, so I wasted a little bit of time. But no, I mean, at least I'll get the job finished. I think about 70% of these guys ain't going to finish anyway, so at least I'll be up there, and at least it will be there to mark, so that's the main thing.
Like the joiners, cabinet makers have to demonstrate high levels of precision in using bench saws, routers and band saws. Gary Tuddenham has made good progress on his first day. He's near to finishing the finger joints for the bottom frame of his cabinet. He's got an interesting gluing technique using a toothbrush and toilet paper to clean up the joints. Competitors can only receive coaching from their training managers, who at WorldSkills become expert judges, for 15 minutes at either end of the day. Gary meets up with Peter Legg for a debrief.
Finger joints, how were they? Fine. Pleased with those? Yeah, they should be good. Hopefully all my marking out was right.
You look nice and comfortable.
I'm knackered.
So am I standing over there all day long, supervising.
I think I'm ahead of 75% of the people, and my work's probably as good as, if not better than the rest of them.
At the team debrief for day one, a mixture of emotions as competitors share their highs and lows.
Quite pleased this afternoon went better than this morning. The afternoon went as bad as the morning. I think I'd be set to my throw.
Probably a bit behind, but hopefully I'll get it back.
Once I got on the stand, it was all really good, and it all went to plan, completely to plan.
My day couldn't have gone any better. It went really, really well. I'll give myself a 9. I'm really pleased.
It's good. I wish I got a couple more things done than I did, but I'd say about 5.
I got my brief this morning, it was alright, and it's the hardest one because it's all subjectively marked, so I got all of them. So.
Yeah, I had a good day. The carving off was dodgy, but when I looked at all the others, they were even worse than mine, I think. So.
It's not you against the other competitors, it's you against the Martin criteria and you against the project. So forget the rest of them. So you need to work out what you need to do differently tomorrow to up your scores. Day 2's coming up, you can't change day 1. All you can do now is go back to your room, plan a little bit, do a little bit of work, do some revision, and just think about what you've got to do tomorrow.
Time for bed. In the next programme, as the competition hots up, some start feeling the strain.
Doesn't look good. He's with his training manager just now, but it's not looking very good. He's pretty upset.
Tears of joy as the event comes to a close. The devil's in the detail for the judges. And triumph as the UK team win WorldSkills gold.
And the gold medal goes to United Kingdom.